Welcome to Leading with Light, a wellspring for the transformational leader that you were born to be, where you can fill up and align, gather and be inspired, and bring your vision to light. Guiding you towards your divine connection and limitless possibilities, here is your host, visionary leader extraordinaire, Sky Ahern. Poof.
Hello, transformational leaders. Welcome to this Love and Light Fest, your sweet spot for stepping up and getting your shine on. I'm your host, Sky Ahern, and you are listening to Leading with Light. Woohoo! It has been a long time since I've recorded a podcast, so this is just a solo gig today. Life is full, so I promise you I will, when I'm inspired and feel called, create an episode. So here I am today. What's going on in your world? Mine, well, I've been really busy hatching baby chicks. Got some more on the way. Been visiting with friends and family, doing lots of art classes and creating, scheduling and teaching practice groups and certification courses for the summer. Been working on the farm, growing lots of gardens, and much, much more. Sky is all over the place. Their hands in all sorts of goody things. So, life just feels like it's speeding up and so full after a bit of a lull, right? Did you feel that lull? Well, in response to that lull, I just kind of filled up my schedule a little bit, and now I'm looking at it and I'm wondering why it feels so full. How about you? Well, I just wanted to talk about, it's no big deal, right? It's no worries if you got yourself all busy. I'm going to invite you, and I think COVID's done a really good job of this, helping us to really just reassess what we really want to do and decide what we want to do and then go from there. But I want to let you know, you can always change your mind. It is okay to change your mind. Repeat after me. It's okay for me to change my mind. It's okay to reevaluate where you are and back out of things you've committed to that no longer feel like a vibrational match. We're in a special time right now. In this, our almost 4th year, we're finishing up the 3rd year of the 13-year wizard journey. In this wizard journey, there are no schedules, no structures, no norms. Have you noticed? Nothing has been the same for going on almost 4 years. So these schedules, the idea of scheduling or structuring or making plans, they just can't prevail because the just is energy we're swimming in, where time and space have expanded and contracted and accelerated while collapsing all at once, is just dominant. We got to shape shift and meet the moment, but that requires presence. And then when we're present and we shape shift to meet whatever's coming at us, we got to meet it with our divine superpowers. And we can. This energy supports us in that while we are really in alignment and being honest with ourselves in integrity and authenticity. And if we don't do that, out of that selfdom, it is not going to feel good. So this is a rule I got for myself. Does it feel nourishing, fun, aligned, and joyful? If it does, I'll do it. If it doesn't, So maybe you want to write this down on a post-it note. What feels nourishing and fun and aligned and joyful? That's what I'm going to do. Now, when you do something out of that fun and alignment and that joy, and it's nourishing you too, you're just creating a really good future. And if you like to manifest, that's all in alignment. If you like your manifestations to take forever and not come true, well, keep on working out of obligations and have-tos. I just taught an advanced class last weekend, and we were going through all of these oaths, vows, and agreements and contracts and promises that we've made through all time and space, through all different planes of existence. And we want to release those, complete those. They served when the time was that we made them, but they no longer serve now. They kind of slow us down. If we just go up to that 7th plane energy of existence, where it's just is energy, the highest, purest energy that creates all things, and we work through that energy, which is basically love, there are no rules. There's no laws, and we can go faster than the speed of light. We can get healthy, we can get happy, we can manifest what we came here to do. So changing your mind is better than going against yourself, crossing your own boundaries, or overgiving. Do you overgive? Do you cross your own boundaries? If you are a kind and loving soul, if you're a healer or a woman especially, you've probably been trained to do this. Like, it's not nice if you don't help somebody out. You probably want to even, and you've been really good at it. Maybe that's where you get some joy. But let's look at this a little bit deeper. Maybe if you have your journal right now, I would kind of hit pause real quick and grab it and come back right away and write down some of these questions. If not, you can listen to it again and do that afterwards. But I write these questions down so that you can reflect on the following questions. Okay? So number 1, do you find it hard to say no? If so, think about a recent example where you didn't say no and you did it anyways, and write about that. Do you find yourself following through on a commitment at your own expense? Like, you're the one who's making all the sacrifices. You're the one who's making the drive. You're the one who's investing the money. You're the one who's showing up, canceling everything you got that you were going to do. Do you cross your own boundaries? Do you cancel, again, days of your own schedule to run to the aid of others? Are your good deeds appreciated when you deliver? Are they received? Are they reciprocated? It's all good to go above and beyond for friends and family every once in a while. I'm not saying it's not. I do. And it feels good. And sometimes I can watch and it doesn't feel so good. So I want to just help you out a little bit with this. If you need any help, I sure do. And I'm always learning. So it's good to, just kind of reflect on how you behave, where you're coming from when you fulfill and serve others. So, big good question. Here's another one. Why are you doing it? Are you doing it out of obligation or to be nice or childhood training? Are you doing it out of love or worry for another or because you really want to? If the shoe were on the other foot, here's a good question. If the shoe were on the other foot, would this lucky person do what you're doing for them for you? Would they do that for you? Would they show up for you like this? They might have different examples of different sets of situations in their life, but would they show up? Reciprocity is a huge part of healthy relationships. If there isn't any or rarely any reciprocity, resentment and rejections and regrets and grudges can begin to pile up until something blows up. And sometimes that something that blows up is just right back onto you, the one who's been giving so much. That's when the resentment really turns itself up. So here's some more questions. Do you take the time to reflect on this? Or do you just blow it off? Do you address it? Or do you just blow it off? Do you sit with it and work on yourself before you address it? Or just blow it off? Do you send a text instead of picking up the phone and having a real conversation? Do you back up and realize that your frustration, your hurt, and your anger, maybe your resentment may be towards yourself and not the other person because you're the one who crossed your own boundaries? Do you think of what you could do differently and promise yourself that you will? Do you work on yourself? Do you know how to create and honor boundaries? Do you even have any boundaries? Now, I've been an educator and worked with children my whole entire life. Boundaries make children feel safe. They're not mean, they're not harmful, they're not like you're dominating the child. They help them know where they can stop exploring because they're explorers and they go where no man has gone before. And if you let them reign, they will go all over the place. And a lot of people don't know how to create healthy boundaries or maintain them because no one taught them when they were little. Growing up, trying to create them without any guidance and figure out how and what they are just feels like a stab in the dark for maybe a lot of years. But I'm going to let you know that you can learn a lot about this. It does take a deep commitment, some studying and learning and practicing to create and maintain and honor boundaries. I think it's more of a practice, like a yoga practice. Like you don't go to yoga one day and you're just doing all the poses perfectly and you ascend in a poofy cloud of sparkly unicorn rainbow dust. You go on a regular basis and you continue to practice. You're with yourself where you are at. You're kind, you're gentle, you don't over push, and you continue to work on it. Hello, beautiful souls. Rare and special event. Like a super rare unicorn sighting, Sky is teaching some of the foundational Theta Healing certification courses online. It is one blazing rainbow of a portal opening up for a life-changing experience, all from the comfort of your own home. If you're interested in joining me, learning from my years of service to this international community, it's time to make your dreams come true and share with you one of the most powerful tools used to bring us into alignment, direct connection to the highest vibration of all that is, to ramp up your manifestation skills, all while creating impeccable discernment and empowering you with a map to the universe and beyond that will serve you the rest of this life and throughout lifetimes to come. If you're ready to step in, this is your time. If you're ready to clear your limiting beliefs and trauma that you haven't been able to get rid of this whole lifetime, pain or suffering, and general overall cosmic crap that you may think has been serving you, and move forward to be the most epic, brilliant, sparkly representation of self on this earth in a human body, this is one of the most potent steps I've discovered over the last almost 2 decades throughout all my travels, hanging out with all these healers all over the world that can help you get that for yourself. Taking these foundational certification courses with me after I've helped write and create these very foundational courses of Theta Healing that have made it internationally renowned and traveled around the world with the founder Vianna Stibal and her husband Guy is a unique, powerful transmission, a download in itself that you don't want to miss. Plus, I'm effing magical. After all, cell does talk to cell, and light travels faster than the speed of light, and light just is. For more details and how to register for upcoming courses, go to www.skyislimitless.com. Go to the Work with Sky section, and then you'll see all about Theta Healing certification. That's www.skyislimitless.com. Or you can just go to the show notes and click on the link there. So, what to do? One of the first steps, I believe, is to know yourself. What's your modus operandi? How do you work? Look at your past relationships and examine how you've responded in the past. How were you expected? You can write these down later on. How were you expected to show up in your family of origin? What was your role in your family unit? How has that influenced the kind of people you've chosen to have in your life? Do you see any echoes of those old dynamics? If you look closely, you will. Do you let everyone in equally into your very core? You're just bearing your soul, you pull on out? Or do you know where they belong in your life and how much to expect and ask of them? Well, the next step is to realize the difference between your paradigm and others. It so cracks me up that we often assume what the color blue is to one person is the same color blue to others. We project our views and experiences and beliefs onto others all the time, and we expect them to understand us, assuming they understand us, while we often forget they have had a completely unique and different experience than we have ever had from day one. This experience that shaped them and their outlooks and their belief systems. So recognizing the difference between your paradigm and others. So honoring our differences and deepening our communication with others, I believe, is step 3. Do you expect others to know what you're thinking without you really expressing it? Have you heard yourself express what you think you're saying? You should write it down sometime. You may not be saying at all what you think you're saying. Do you project how you think they feel onto them? Or do you ask them how they feel or what they think about something? Do you check for clarification that they did understand or hear what you meant and that you clarified yourself and you communicated clearly? Do you feel like you can fully express your feelings and opinions free from choking up, like getting shut down in your throat chakra, or free from sugarcoating it, or free from judgment, like our ancestors did in the Wild West? Weren't they so forthright and bold with their raw, straight-uppedness? I'm always impressed when I watch those Wild West flicks about how they were so in their own opinion and did not feel intimidated by another's opinion, even if it were different. They would just stand up. So we know how to do that. That's in our DNA. We can still have some tact and kindness and compassion and deliver it nice and easily, but why is it that so many of us choke up and shut down our throat chakra, or sugarcoat it, or like stray away from just saying something straight up with tact and kindness and compassion? That doesn't work for me, but I'll tell you what does. My 2-year-old granddaughter taught me that. She came home from school and she shared that with us. That's what they taught her how to say. Wonder if we had learned how to say that when we were 2. My gosh. That doesn't work for me, but I'll tell you what does. Well, these 3 steps: know yourself, realize that your paradigm is different than others, honor your differences, and deepen your communication skills. Well, that's a good start. And I think we can practice them over and over and over again, just like any practice. So, would you like some downloads to help you out on this process? If so, you're going to say heaven yes out loud, and you'll get it whenever you listen to it, okay? So here's the first one. I know how to set, maintain, and honor healthy boundaries in myself, for myself. I know how to set, maintain, and honor healthy boundaries for myself. Would you like that one? What do you say? That's right. Heaven yes. So hold on a second. I'm going to go up and ask Creator to teach you in every cell of your body, on all 4 levels, in every area of your life, in the highest and best way. Creator's perspective on how to set, maintain, and honor healthy boundaries for yourself. That it's safe and it's possible, you're allowed to, and you remember you get to. If you like those, you just say heaven yes. Very good. All right, here's another one. Ready? I know what it feels like to say no when I mean no. Free from guilt, obligation, and feeling bad about myself. Would you like to know what that feels like? Get Creator's perspective and definition of that. Make sure your definition and perspective are the same. Understand what that feels like. Knows what it feels like. You get to remember it. That it's safe for you to do this. That is possible and you're allowed to. So hold on. I know what it feels like to say no when I mean no. Free from guilt, obligation, and feeling bad about myself. Take a big deep breath in. There you go. I know what it feels like to recognize the difference between my paradigm and others. That means your DNA, your belief systems, your opinions, your perception of the world, your experience. That's your paradigm. If you like to know how to recognize the difference between yours and others, you just say heaven yes. Very good. And then this is the last one. Are you ready? I know what it feels like to clearly, effectively, and succinctly communicate my feelings to another person. Would you like to know what that feels like? Say heaven yes. Now, as I'm going up here and doing these downloads, I'm realizing that I forgot to walk you up to the energy of creation. So if you'd like to do that now, let's do that. Now, when we do this in Theta Healing, this is what we do before we do any of the work. So it's pretty cool. So I'm just going to do it kind of rapidly for you here to see that it can be fast, because if you've listened to my podcast, you know that I do this with you at the very beginning of every podcast. But I got excited this one, and I've been teaching a 3-day class, and I've been doing it all the time, so I'm already in that space, so I forgot. So forgive me, and let's do it together, okay? So center yourself in your heart and put your feet on the floor. And you're just going to take a big deep breath up breathing up the energy of creation up into every cell of your body, opening up each of your chakras as you go up to the crown of your head. You're going to come up out of your space in a beautiful ball of light, noticing what color it is, out, up to the universe, past the universe, past the dark lights, past some white lights and some more white lights, and through this thick jelly-like substance into this pink cotton candy-like energy, which is the law of compassion. And deep into that energy, you're going to see this white window of sparkly iridescent light. And you're going to step into it, and that's all you're going to see. You're just going to go poof, and all around you, I tell my grandkids, the sparkly unicorn rainbow does. Yay! Feels so good up here. You want to feel better, feel healthy, get some information, check it out with Creator, whatever you want to call it, God, Jesus, Buddha, Great, Sparkle Pony, Allah, whatever you need to do, Yahweh, you can do that. But up here, we can be connected to everything as we already are. We can learn things, we can know things. And we can change our limiting self-doubt and our limiting belief systems. So, one of the most valuable skills I've ever learned in my life to help me learn how to do these 3 steps of learning about boundaries in myself and how I interact in relationships is theta healing. And I'm so lucky that I've been doing it for almost 20 years. It gives me a way to help hone my skills as a human being, navigating all these emotions that we gotta do. You don't do that on any other plane of existence. Navigating this DNA, generations and generations of belief systems, feelings, propensities, ways of being, memories. It's just a lot to navigate being human. Have you noticed? Especially these days. And I think the temperature's coming up because we're supposed to be starting to tune into what it is to be human and why we're here and what the heck do we want to make out of this experience. So I'm grateful I have this work to help me. It makes a lot of sense. It's totally an adventure. It's amazing. I love teaching people because, they jump up literally for joy when they learn how to do it. They are giddy and happy and so grateful because they finally have something that works. And they know it because it feels aligned and true in their core. Not because I tell them. It's because they know it. They remember it. They feel it. Every cell of their body. This work helps me have more intimate and aligned relationships. Not like they're perfect. I have to keep on working on myself. It helps me understand what is the best use of my time on this planet in this one beautiful life that we have. It helps me understand what's the best use of my effort, of my actions. And it helps me understand where I can put my generosity of spirit and it can be received. And it's nothing but a move, and I keep on moving, streamlined into the future, totally aligned. And that way I can feel good in my body, in my life, in my heart. Don't you want to feel good in your body, in your life, in your heart? Well, if you want to check out my website, www.skyislimitless.com, you can go there, and under the Theta Healing Certification tab, you can see all the different classes I'll be teaching. And I have a lot of classes. I scheduled a lot of classes all the way into the fall. So check them out and join me if you feel called to embark or continue on an adventure like no other on this planet. And I'm for reals. I'm not blowing you. This is for reals. This is some powerful stuff. And, if you've waited a long while, and you hop in now, you're going to say, wow, why did I wait for so long? Why was Sky talking about this for years and I made myself wait? Well, you can be gentle with yourself. Maybe it wasn't time, but feel into it. Is it time now? And if it's not, cool. You'll pop in when it is time. But in this time where humanity needs to understand the law of free choice. Hello, people. Free choice. That's been up lately. And the law of truth. Holy macaroni. We all need to understand how to discern highest truth. There's a lot of just lies and conspiracy out there. We got to learn how to really tap into that law of compassion and that 7th plane energy of pure unconditional love. Because how else are we going to up-level this human vibration on this earth. Humanity is calling out, and it needs us. If you don't do it for yourself and you be the change that you want to see in the world, then it's just going to be longer, more suffering. And I don't know about you, but I'm kind of tired of seeing that. In fact, I'm not looking toward the suffering anymore. I'm looking towards the fun and the adventure of sharing this information with people so that they can change their lives like we already have shared it for over 20 years. And it's internationally renowned and happening in all these different languages and all these different cultures. Over 180 some countries. Over 52 different languages. That is extremely impressive to me. It was not like that when I started in 2003. It's pretty fascinating. And this is a time that we need more than any other time in history to start getting focused on spirit. We got everything else on this planet. We're kind of like got so much of it on our planet, we're kind of like hurting our planet right now. So we're being asked to turn inward and to look at spirit and source. If you're going to do that, join me. Check it out. We got some really good practical tools that are going to really help you. So I hope this has helped. I'd love to hear from you. Feel free to email me at sky@skyislimitless.com. You can join me on the Facebook group of Leading with Light. It's called Leading with Light. And you can also check out my website again at www.skyislimitless.com. It's been such a pleasure doing this with you today. I hope this has served you in the highest and best way. I love what you're up to in the world. You know your special divine spark of light. And I know how much the planet needs people just like you. So, rock on and sparkle on. Blessings.
You've been listening to Leading with Light. Be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss a single episode. And while you're at it, please leave a rating and review and be sure to share it with your friends. Tune in every Tuesday for more exciting ways to help you pop into true divine connection and clarity, live in the energy of limitless possibilities, and delight in the love playground. Get your magic on and make this world a happier place. Yo.